To calculate formula mass, we add together the masses of all the atoms in the molecule. Mathematically, this becomes the equation shown. To get the contribution from each element, we multiply the number of atoms for that element times its atomic mass from the periodic table. Then we add them together. As far as significant figures, the number of atoms is exact, so we ignore these values for sig figs. For this example, these exact numbers would be the 2 from tellurium and the 4 from the oxygen. The atomic masses, though, are measured values and must be considered for significant figures. Because the math here is addition, we will follow the sig fig rules for addition and subtraction. So we will round our final result to the fewest number of places. You'll see how this is done when we work through the example. First, let's look up the atomic masses of tellurium and oxygen. We see from the periodic table that tellurium is 127.60 and oxygen is 15.999. You can ignore the asterisks because they document additional detail in some of the atomic masses that we don't have to worry about here. To set up the problem, we write the number of tellurium atoms, 2, times its atomic mass, 127.60, plus the number of oxygen atoms, which is 4, times its atomic mass, 15.999. I encourage you to use the parentheses in your calculator so there are no calculation issues. So the calculation is parentheses 2 times 127.60 parentheses plus parentheses 4 times 15.999 parentheses equals 319.196. Now to deal with the sig figs, first let's mark the final significant digit in each atomic mass. Because both of these mass values have a decimal point, trailing zeros are going to count. So we'll mark the digit that is the furthest right. This would be the 0 for tellurium and the final 9 for oxygen. Then we determine the fewest number of decimal places in these masses. Tellurium has 2 decimal places, whereas oxygen has 3. So the fewest number is going to be 2 decimal places, which means we need to round our final result to 2 decimal places. The location here is at the 9, but we have to make sure that we account for rounding. So if we take a look to the right, we see that we have a 6, which means we have to round this up. So our answer becomes 319.20. And the units are U.